Thank you, Dr. Nashwa. Our next speaker is driven by curiosity, emotion, and desire. Ms. Noor Shamma is an artrepreneur and is consciously not defining herself as a particular type of artist so that she can express herself through many different mediums. She is currently exploring the relationship between art, identity, and emotion through a plethora of imagery, texture, and expressive styles. Ms. Noor Shamma is also the founder of the Postcard initiative. Now, if you don't know about the Postcard initiative, maybe she'll tell you about it. If not, look it up. It's really a great initiative. And she also heads the Communications and Public Affairs Department at the Paris Sorbonne University in Abu Dhabi. Let's watch a video about Ms. Noor Shamma. Put your hands together for Ms. Noor Shamma.
Good morning, good afternoon. I have a cold, so excuse my sniffing every here and there. Before I begin, I would like to take the opportunity to thank the organizers, sponsors, and partners. It is through their hard work that we are able to meet today and collaboratively discuss a medley of interesting topics in which we can improve quality of life as organizations and as individuals. It is an honor to share the platform with so many brilliant speakers and to have the chance to address you all at this year's event. There have been several instances recently where I find myself tossing and turning in the middle of the night, unable to shut down my brain in the midst of the hustle and bustle of being a professional, a communications professional, an entrepreneur, a master's student, a mother to a 7-year-old, an artist, and an art teacher, amongst many other things. While I reflect on my journey, my goals, this fast-evolving world, my daughter's well-being, the ambiguity of the future, desperately trying to find answers that put things into perspective, answers that would allow me to make the right choices for me and, most importantly, for my daughter. We live at a time where creative destruction, which is the classic economic principle by which established industries are demolished when many made irrelevant by the new technologies, hijacking our everyday lives. Day by day, more and more machines, software, and technologies are taking over physical and mental tasks, sending off people to unemployment, making the future even more intimidating. Moreover, in our always connected, over-connected world of smart technologies, cable, social media platforms, and on-demand everything, we spend most of our days consuming information and reacting accordingly, making us more consumers than producers. I recently came across the news that Apple hired the very smart Burberry CEO, Angela Ahrendts. She's the first woman on Cook's top team, and she was hired to run their retail because she shares their values and focuses on innovation. And I read this interesting quote by Angela that states that the more technologically advanced our society becomes, the more we need to go back to the basic fundamentals of human communication. This got me thinking and triggered my protective instinct to prepare my daughter with necessary tools of adaptability and resourcefulness to survive the new reality of constant change, and a world that suffers the Google syndrome, as I like to call it, where everyone's a know-it-all most. It is survival of the fittest. Today, every parent should nurture and develop their child's creative literacy and imagination. In other words, if you want your children to survive the future, send them to art school. You're probably thinking, seriously? Well, you see, creativity is a timeless trait. A creative literate person develops a basic understanding of the mental, emotional, and sociological tools used for creative thought and communication. This helps push limits, allows strategic thinking, encourages problem solving, and creating connections, thinking outside and inside the box, while conveying a unique viewpoint, feeling, emotion, idea, and concept. Investing in our children's creative literacy will provide them a lifetime of exploration, experimentation, and self-discovery, where they can find their own purpose, making them the fittest. Unfortunately, most schools tend to neglect that. Physiologically speaking, the human brain consists of two parts, the left and the right hemispheres. The left side is the logical side, basically used for logical thinking and analytical processes. And this is the side typically trained by schools through math, reading, sciences, and so on. Now, the right hemisphere is the emotional side, used for emotional perception, intuition, and creativity. This part of the brain is activated through creative activities. But what's interesting is, for the brain to be efficient, both sides of the brain must be working together at the same time. Guess what? Creating art achieves that. Learning a new language, painting, or even playing music requires the whole brain thinking. How? Art stimulates and exercises the right hemispheres of the brain, and that strengthens the connection between both hemispheres. Art enhances problem-solving skills. Beauty of it is there is no one correct answer when you're doing art. Out-of-the-box thinking and coming up with your own unique solutions stimulate your brain to grow new neurons. This is exactly why children should be exposed to art, as their cognitive skills mature so that their right brain will be as developed as the left. And both hemispheres work in tandem, thus achieving the full potential of the mind. Leonardo da Vinci said, painting embraces all the 10 functions of the eye. This is to say, darkness, light, body and color, shape and location, distance and closeness, motion and rest. This implies that art has a simple effect to meditation. An average person has around 60,000 thoughts a day, 95% of which are the same day in and day out. Art provides a distraction by putting your brain in the state of flow, into the zone, giving the brain a break. This pushes all worries aside, so creating art increases the feel-good neurotransmitter called dopamine, which is the motivation molecule. It boosts drive, focus, and concentration. What dopamine does, it stimulates the creation of new neurons and prepares your brain for learning. This is achieved through the I did it lift when you complete an artwork, craft, or project. So this includes knitting, quilting, sewing, gardening, do-it-yourself projects, and so on. Crafting activities would increase dopamine, ward off depression, and protect the brain from aging. You're probably familiar with the popular new trend of stress relief adult coloring books, which are filling the markets at this time. Art stimulates connection between various brain parts and has been proven to increase psychological resilience and resistance to stress. Moreover, early music lessons enhance brain plasticity and increases blood flow to the brain. Art lessons increase brain plasticity, fluid intelligence, IQ, and attention. So children exposed to trainings in art or music perform better in math, language, and reading, with an overall positive behavior and reduced impulsiveness. Unfortunately, most schools slash music and art programs to fit in other subjects. A short-sighted policy affecting lifelong benefits. Take theories of physics, for example, which require imagination, intuition, and insight. And these made Einstein so brilliant as a physicist. To come up with a theory like general relativity, and I was really bad at physics, one must have imagination that is not limited to knowledge of the facts alone. This is why Einstein says imagination is more important than knowledge. Knowledge is limited, imagination encircles the world. So in drawing a close to my address, remember that creativity is more important than knowledge. Innovations create opportunities. Opportunities create jobs. Jobs secure the future. So encourage your children's curiosity. Allow them to explore. Do not suppress their sense of wonder. Never have them lose the child within. Prepare them for a world where survival is of the fittest, and the fittest is the creative literate. And finally, it has been a real pleasure speaking with you all, and I wish you both an enjoyable and an informative conference experience. Thank you.